Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon.
Yo, VI, play the beat.
The moon and Neptune. Hey there, kids. We have a very special episode of Tarot Nights coming out today. There has been a slew of things happening, astrologically speaking, at least from my perspective. We have the moon still in Taurus in its quarter moon, and that read in particular was very Neptunian. I didn't realize it when we were recording, but as we were going through, I started coming to these conclusions and realizing, like, oh yeah, that was super Neptunian. What do you know? And we have Neptune moving into Aries come time this little video comes out. But there's a bunch of stuff going on in the midst of this shift from Neptune, from Pisces into Aries, and getting that head start on your dreams. And it's all involved. It's all very involved with the moon right now. Last night, yesterday, the moon didn't sleep at all last night. It did not go to bed during the day. Over this weekend, with this deep freeze that we had going on, I think everybody across the country over here experienced some kind of cold weather or snow. Here it was negative 22 for like 3 days, give or take, wind chill and all that, but it was real cold. It was real cold. Vehicles weren't starting. It was a whole deal, you know. Definitely had to make sure that we had enough firewood just to supplement the heat. This house is quite drafty, so it was an adventure, that's for sure, just getting around through your day to day when it is that bitter cold out. But one thing I observed, because I had to work all weekend, so I was driving home from work and I was watching the moon as I was coming, and it was in the west, just hanging up above me. And we had, when the moon is illuminated from the bottom up instead of side to side, which I thought was really interesting. I was like, huh, you know, I kind of start remembering, you know, when I was a little kid and I was ice fishing with my grandpa, and we were talking about the moon and how it behaves in the winter time, and it's a little bit different. And I thought, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense because of where the sun is angled and where the moon's at. Right now, it's getting illuminated from the bottom. Okay, cool. That's neat. And then I was driving to work the next morning, and the moon was up in the east. Did you go to bed? What? Why are you still here? There's the moon. And I leave from work later that evening, and the moon is in the west. And I just tracked it going around in a perfect circle above us. So I had to go and check all of my moon apps, all of my things. Like, when did the moon set? It didn't. It didn't set. We never got over our emotions yesterday. They were just hanging above us the whole time. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad day. It could have been. But really, it was just the awareness of how we felt was always above our heads. It was always in sight. It was always in view. It was somewhere. It was still out there. And I thought that was really unique and interesting because we're in the first quarter. And in the new moon phase, you'll typically see the moon a lot more during the day because that's when the moon is actually out and doing its thing. Like I said, it did a little circle up in the sky and it never dropped below the horizon, not until the next day, which I thought was really wild and crazy. But then I got up into my solar map app and up into the Alchemists Laboratory school, and we've got the moon conjuncting Chiron today as we're recording right now, just coming in swiftly like a knight, that wounded healer, to console and consort with this moon that has been up all night with its emotions. It never rested. We never got over it. So it was the perfect opportunity for the moon to meet and conjunct with Chiron in order to bring in that healing that we needed, to bring resolve to whatever restlessness we were experiencing. And after our moon conjuncts Chiron, Neptune will be moving into Aries. And that is that's actually what we were going to do today. That was the plan and intention, was we're going to do Neptune and Aries. But all of this other stuff happened, and I just had to stop and talk about all of it because it was so interesting. I didn't remember that the moon behaved this way in this time of the year, but again, as we were watching this moon do its crazy little cycle, I was brought back to when I was a little kid and I was ice fishing with my grandpa. And sometimes the moon would be out and we would go out at night and it was so bright, it was like broad daylight. It was like broad daylight outside. You could see everything. When we go out and check the tip ups, like you could still see them with the binoculars from the house. And be like, oh, we got a fish. Let's go get us our fish. We hike out onto the frozen lake and go fishing in the middle of the night. But I remember, talking to my grandpa about the moon a lot and asking him, like, why does it do that? How come it's still out? Why is it like this? And he's the only person that ever gave me any answers. I looked all over the internet today to explain to me, why didn't the moon go down? Why didn't it drop below the horizon? Why was it just up there the whole time? But but as he was explaining it to me, the way that the earth is tilted in the winter, and part of the reason that it gets so cold is that we're distanced from the sun, but the moon is closer and closer, so we have more of those experiences. And that kind of rang true to me because, especially in these colder climates, when you're up a little bit farther north, what you end up experiencing is a lot of what we call seasonal depression. People get that. That's a big thing. And they say it's the lack of sun, but I think it also has to do with the enormous presence of the moon. Not only is your lack of sun affecting your ability to carry on, carry forward, to illuminate in specific areas, but your emotions are much closer and much more present at this time. And if you are not regulating them internally on your own, it can become overwhelming. It can feel like that moon is just hanging above your head and you can just never get over it. Whatever it is that's bothering you. This whole time I have had tears in my eyes and I don't know why. There is some sadness out there attached to this. And I just want you all to know that it's going to be okay. Those feelings were meant to be felt. This is the time that we have been discussing, talking about, getting into, getting ready for. This is the time where you get to just feel those feelings. You get to sit with them. They're not going anywhere, so you can get comfortable with them and really spend time talking to them, getting to know them, and what your emotional experience truly is. So, if you utilize this time correctly, this deep dive and this overwhelming illumination of how you truly feel can be very therapeutic. It can be very helpful, especially with Chiron coming up in there and showing us how to heal those wounds, because Chiron knows what pain is and how to turn it around, how to turn it into something positive, how to use it to progress yourself forward. So we're talking about the moon today. We're talking about Chiron today. We're talking about Neptune today. We are all up in it. I think. Maybe we just got our intro and we'll carry on. These cards are still cold from the deep freeze that they experienced. So that's fine. We'll give us a moment. We were just putting some chips on the stairs. It's fine. I know what significance that means for you, but think we're just putting chips on the stairs. Nope, just kidding. Okay, I guess that gave us enough time to really think or come back to the song Devil and I by Slipknot. I actually listened to that one today. I haven't really listened to Slipknot in a while, you know. I listen to it every once in a while. It was one of my favorite bands when I was 15, so you gotta have that once in a while, right? But the song Devil and I had come flooding back, and so I listened more intently to the lyrics and the rhythm and the beat and how it strung up, and moved emotions within me. And it was a perfect reflection. The song is about um, two people who can't even remember who was hurting who anymore because they're just both vicious beasts attacking each other in some kind of crazy cycle. And it's about pulling the awareness into oneself and being able to step inside and see the devil in I. Sometimes cut 111 on the counter. Sometimes when you are experiencing torment from another individual, when you are experiencing their devil and it feels like they are torturing you, sometimes that devil is actually your own devil wearing somebody else's face. It's disguising itself because it won't reveal itself to you as you, but it is a mirror reflection of the darkness that lives inside of you. And this is that reflection. This is that return of the aggression that lives within yourself. So it's about taking off the masks and recognizing the devil in your own self and harmonizing with that, understanding it. Again, sitting with those emotions for a little while and trying to figure out why, where, what are we doing? Are we going to get through this? I don't know. Now, can we get into the cards? We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to do one cut from this ice cold deck. One cut from the cold. Just to see what we get. And then we're going to move to the vice versas because they're a little bit warm and toasty. Eight of Pentacles. Yep. Welcome that in. This fixated air is attracting a fixed earth. Oh, that would be Aquarius and Taurus together in representation of card. There we go. But what kind of work are you getting done with this focused energy? Because this is a time where we have a heightened focus and alert. I'm recalling the black cat from our previous Taurus read was one of our oracles, and that black cat has had its eyes wide open. It was very alert. It was very on point. It was ready to catch both threats and fun. It was up for anything, literally. And it was ready to go. And that was a representative of our shadow side. I'm ready to catch something. I'm ready to catch the good. I'm ready to catch the bad. Whatever comes our way, we're ready for it. And that was the reassurance that we were getting there. This Eight of Pentacles is giving us that can-do attitude. We're ready to work through this now. We are ready to get to work, to put it out on the table, to get it onto the desk, to open up those files and get to work on them. Let's go. So let's go. Let's start directing our dreams. Three of Cups. Pouring those waters and raising them up. It's celebration and dance. There's fun. There's play. There's gratitude. There's so much. Okay, there's so much to live for is what I got, but there's so much to love for. There is so much here to embrace, to enjoy, to experience for all of its good and all of its glory. With the Four of Cups and, oh, it was the Magician. Okay. I kind of thought that was maybe the devil hanging out behind it, but there's the Four of Cups and the Magician that were sticking out. So finding the balance between the, not even the balance, finding the truth in love, joy, connection, commitment, and sacrifice. Finding the joy in the love and commitment and sacrifice of life. And the Four of Cups would be that sacrifice. The things spilt, the things lost, the disappointments, and utilizing both of these energies. I can feel both at the same time. I can feel grateful even when my cups are spilled. I can feel sad even when there's good things around me. And neither one of those is bad. It's just the full experience. It's all a part of what it is that we are creating. It is all a part of what it is that we are growing. The flower and the tree of life on his back. Hopefully that does good. Hopefully that does good. But it's all what you make out of it. It's which one you decide to utilize or harmonize. Can you take both and put them both to work in the same direction to give them a point? This is where you grow. This is where you grow from. This is where we're growing to. And holding both of those positions and keeping the, I'm getting like a stalk, like just like a very long like sunflower stalk. And how it grows and reaches. It needs that point, that grounding point, and it seems to grow like impossibly tall. Some sunflowers can get so tall, and their flowers are so big and so heavy, you almost kind of wonder, even with the really thick stalk, how they could stand so straight, how they could hold and support such a big head. But those roots go down deep into the ground. They are what came up out of this sorrow, this dissatisfaction, this missing piece. And what we are reaching for grows with the love and gratitude for the nourishment and the environment that we have. Because it was made for us. I feel like I need another deck. Switch. I'm not ready to pull the ice deck yet. We're calling it an ice deck because it was sitting outside, you know? No, I don't just leave them outside. It was in the car. It was in the car. But it's still cold. It takes a long time to get that frost off after that deep freeze. So give it patience. Whatever is growing, whatever it is that we are attempting to accumulate. 10 of Cups, 9 of Wands. Looking out. Looking out for it. Grow hope. Grow in your hope and your faith. Your knowledge and awareness. Knight of Wands. Directing those fires to where is most important. Now it's kind of giving me that the body's natural response to freezing temperatures. All of the blood moves from the extremities to heat up the core, to keep your heart warm, to keep the vital organs warm. It will prioritize those vital organs over the extremities, over the external circumstances. Directing and holding all of your warmth throughout this freeze. Again, there is just so much like guardedness. Probably the last 3 reads, there's been this level of protection, but I feel like as we have been progressing, this guardedness has moved from a self-preservation attitude that could have been straight up blocking you from progression, and now it's kind of opening up. We're starting to allow that black cat to creep through the door, peek its head out, and get curious about what's actually going on. So maybe we can get involved, maybe we can play. Yeah, it might be a little bit rough. Yeah, there might be some viciousness out there, but I think whatever is on the other side is really worth it if we just open ourselves up to come play with it. So every time we get this guarded energy, it's less guarded and protective to the point of blockage, and more the knowledge and awareness of what to do when circumstances go down. Allowing yourself to get close enough to something that potentially your boundaries could be crossed, but not being afraid of your boundaries ever being crossed, knowing and having the confidence that you yourself can handle it when your boundary gets crossed, that you can handle it appropriately, that you can communicate directly, that you can direct this fire, this passion, this devil inside that we have been carrying with us. We don't have to hide it. It's right here. So if we need it, it's already at hand. And if we don't need it, we're ready to have a good time. And put that down. Put that away. Now I want to cut. Let's cut. Take a slice. Ace of Cups. We did also stop the vice versas with the Ace of Pentacles on the top. Final circle, final cycle. I think we're starting to prepare ourselves to actually enter that year 1 vibe and energy, that reset, restart, new beginning. This is the final trajectory. Successfully navigated the loop through all of the winding twists, turns, and bends, all of the different stimulation that has been coming in. It's all been a part of the natural cycle and flow, and the extra pointedness, the sharpness in the cold is exactly what you needed to break through the ice. You needed to freeze it out, to break through, in order to get both the seed and the water that you need. And now we're ready to start planting. Planting season is actually coming up. You can be starting your seeds if you're going to greenhouse it right about now. We're getting just enough sun now that things are going to respond well to that growth. We're taking both of these. I'll accept this new opportunity, this new growth, this new breaking of ground for which we can pour into. It's like filling the well up from the top. It's interesting. There's just the rainwaters coming down. Aquarius is our little rain cloud coming down in and being filtered through the mud. Such an interesting process. Have we even gotten into Neptune? And where it's taking us? I think we have. Just making sure. Sorry. We pulled that Ace of Pentacles, and what was beneath was the Seven of Wands. Like, there's that guardedness again, there's that protection. Like, yes, yes, be prepared. But also, be prepared for anything. Be ready for anything. The season is going to bring a lot of interesting things. If you allow yourself to move through the flow of the cycle, try not to stop yourself up too much with that guardedness. It's good to have that there. It's good to have your shadow, to have your dog at your side. That's smart. It's smart to bring your dog to the dog fight. Because if you don't bring your dog, you're going in alone and you're fighting somebody else's dog. You don't have a dog in a fight. You don't have a dog in the fight. It's just you. Bring your dog. And hopefully it's a good dog. Hopefully you've been working with it and training it so that it knows when and where to use its aggression. Two of Pentacles. The stairs in the woods. Oh, I was getting the stairs in the woods. But yeah, it feels like a step along the line of progression. 1 2 1 2. We did get a 2 1 2 1 2 earlier as well. So yeah, it's taking those steps slowly, surely, and steadily. This shift in awareness is going to give you the sight that you needed to start taking those steps forward. The path is being illuminated now. All right. Queen of the Moon. We've been rolling on this. We'll just keep flipping. We're just flipping through the channels. Flipping through all of the channels. I want to know what's on every station, because everything seems to be connected and contributing and flowing into this ultimate guidance and abundance. It's like facing down your worst fears and nightmares in order to step into your greatest dreams. Like, you have to sit through the nightmarish part first in your dreams and continue to sleep without flinching, without breaking your gaze or your hope or your faith or your love. And when you do that, you can step through to the other side, which is the best your dreams can get. Get that little piece of heaven. Okay, then sevenfold. We're definitely tapping into some old energies. Definitely pulling a lot from the past and the present. And we're kind of winding and weaving them together for that future. There is no past, there is no present, and there is no future on this channel. I hope you know. They're all the same, and we use them all the same. Resistance! Come on, Muse. Let's go. We have resistance. And that is what we have been needing through this time, through the elements, through the stars, through our day-to-day, is having the ability to stand strong in our own fortitude and to resist temptations to collapse into the cold, into the dark, to stand strong through those dark times so that we can step up into the light and the ease of summer. Each season turns, each season changes, and with it brings new life, new hope, new opportunities, and new growth. But we need that resistance, we need that strength, We need that ability to stand in our own. And if it weren't for these days where that was challenged, we would never know how to grow stronger and more resilient. Fight the powers that be. Oh, why that came out like, oh no. What happened? I hope we didn't lose too much of that. We're running low on battery. Resistance! You might be running low on your batteries. That's okay. Take the time to recharge. Remember that it's okay to sit with your feelings sometimes, because that's the only way you're going to get to know them. It's okay to deal with struggle, hardship, and adversity, because that's how you learn how to overcome them. You would never feel success or know the true feeling of success if you didn't fail, if you didn't make wrong choices. So don't ever harm yourself over a choice that you made that didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, because where you end up is with more knowledge, more awareness, more preparedness. This is everything that you've been training for. Let's go. Step out into that new world. Go through the darkest parts of the night of your soul, of yourself. Because what's on the other side, when you step through that and you learn how to utilize those skills and abilities for what they were truly meant for, it's all going to be so light. I can't wait to glide with you all. Even though our words and our circumstances are unstable, unsteady, and a little unpredictable, keep up that resistance. Thanks, kids. We'll see you next time. Undo these chains, my friend. Show you the rage I've hidden. Perish the sacrament. Swallow, but nothing's forgiven. You and I can't decide which one of us was taken for granted. Make amends. Some of us are destined to be outlived. So step inside. See the devil in I. Too many times we've let it come to this. Step inside. See the devil in I. You'll realize I'm not your devil anymore.